I'll just say it again. I'll get annoyed about talking about cricket first. Do you want to talk about cricket, Jamie?
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back. We are back with Just Not Crick Pod. First question I just want to ask you, Jamie. I've already asked how you are, so you're well. I can tell the listeners that. But how excited are you for the Champions Trophy?
When someone asks you, like, are you overwhelmed or like underwhelmed with something,
Yeah.
and they just reply with whelmed, I don't know what the equivalent for like excitement is for that word.
Uh, it's just such a pointless conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like it just exists so that you can have an opportunity for Pakistan and India to play each other. Um, and like it's Champions Trophy, but half the team in the thing aren't champions of anything, so I don't really know what it's for.
Mm.
It's it's like the Euros, I guess, an equivalent to World Cup, but just miles worse.
Except that one continent doesn't have enough
Yeah,
teams to
yeah,
warrant like
a
a
Euros.
continent only
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we good. But yeah, we'll preview that competition with excitement shortly. Um, but before that, we can review a competition just happened or a series just happened where England toured India. Um, they played the five-match T20 series and a three-match ODI series under Brendan McCullum's new leadership of this white ball team, and they won one game, which
I
is
think
good.
I think that's probably better than expected.
Maybe I get maybe. Supposedly. So most recently this week they played the three ODIs, which they lost 3-0. Did you watch any of it, Jamie?
I was not aware it was on.
Obviously, this is the kind of their warm up in inverted commas for the Champions Trophy, which Duckett. Another we have many good Duckett quotes over the years. But I mean, I don't necessarily disagree what he said here. I don't have the quote to hand, but he said something on the lines of doesn't matter if we lose this series 3-0 as long as we beat India in the final of the Champions Trophy. Which, on one hand, I understand the vibe, but also if you're losing a series 3-0, then surely you're not playing well anyway. So surely there's stuff you need to address. You can't just be like, doesn't matter,
Yeah,
right? Do
I
you know what
I
I
would
mean?
have thought that like winning the series against India would be beneficial to
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
upcoming Champions Trophy. So if you were to play India again, you have
Yeah.
a bit of an edge over them rather than the last ODI series you played against them having been a whitewash. That's cool.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you understand his sentiment, but like
But
stuff
also,
like
it's just a
that.
bit rubbish. Yeah, it's just stupid. Let's just be like, we've not played well enough. We really want to win this next game, just so we can go Champions Trophy with confidence. Not be like, oh, if we lose it 3-0, but at least we'll be better then. No, it doesn't make sense. They have been, I'd say, we've spoken a bit about injuries and other sports teams just before we came on air,
Mm.
but they have been hampered, I guess, with slight injuries. So Jacob Bethel is out of the Champions Trophy, and they've called up Tom Banton as a replacement. Not particularly like for like. I mean, a lot of people would be clamoring for Liam Dawson. I'd probably agree. But I do think Tom Banton should be playing ahead of people like Phil Salt, but we'll see. Um, Jofra missed the last two ODIs. I think he split a webbing on his hand, I think. This is just vague recollections of memory, but he was out. I think Bryden Cast had a toe injury, but should be fit for the first game of the Champions Trophy. And I feel like there was another one, but I don't really know if I care enough to remember.
Was it
Uh,
not Duckett? Was Duckett
oh, yes, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we were just talking about him. Yeah, he had a groin scan, but he is going to be fit for the Champions Trophy, so
he
no
just had
dramas.
it for
Which
fun. He wasn't injured. He was
yeah,
just
it was just thought it'd be raise the stakes. But Duckett has probably been one of the better players of the white ball tour, so that's a good thing. Do you want me to run through any of the scores from the ODIs or just give you general vibes?
I think just fine. Like if you like Ben Duckett would say, what's the point in hearing about the specifics of
Yeah,
3-0
the specific team.
defeat? It's not good.
No, it's not good at all. I mean, the batting is the issue, I think, massively. They've started quickly in I think all the games, Duckett and Salt. But I think as we mentioned in the last pod, Salt is just aggression and nothing else. So like I'm pretty sure he got scores. So in the last ODI he got, and I don't want to point it on one person, but I Yes, I am. Yeah, so he got 23 of 21 in the last game, but they put on an opening partnership of 60. Um, and in the other ones, he got it's all a similar story. So second ODI, where England got over 300 for the only time during the series. Um, they put on an opening partnership of 81, again 26 of 29. Um, it's just a general that's the general consensus of the entire series. Everyone just gets loads of starts.
Mhm.
And then the first ODI, 43 of 26. And they put on an open partnership of 75. So you'd say like, oh, they got some good opening partnerships, but not one player got 100 in this series. Whilst, Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma all got hundreds and stuff for India. And that, they won a series 3-0. So there's been 50s, 50 in the first game for Butler, and Bethel, who's obviously not going to be part of the Champions Trophy. I think Root got a 50 in the second ODI. Um, Livingston, I think, got a 40 at the end. Yeah, 41 of 32 in the second ODI. Duckett 65 in that one. So just like bits and decent-ish starts, but then nothing, consequential in the entire game. Um, and I think bowling's been kind of similar as well. Like Rash has been getting wickets easily, and Wicket got four in the last game. Wood got a couple, but Gus Atkinson's been kind of carted all over the place. Livingston's kind of leg spin, off spin hasn't really worked. Sakib's done okay without being great. And obviously Jofra was out for the last couple of games, as was Bryden Carr. So it's quite a lot to write home about.
Mhm. But doing
um,
well.
Going well.
Yeah.
My general vibe, I mean, to hear your thoughts on this, I know you've not watched any. But my general vibe is that the team is very imbalanced. So they don't really know, one, what their best side is, or two, if they can actually get their best side out of the squad that they have. So they're obviously missing that kind of all-rounder like a Stokes at six. So like in the second ODI, they had Salt, Duckett, Root, Brook, Butler, Livingston, Jamie Overton, Gus Atkinson, Adil Rashid, Mark Wood, Saki, Mahmood. That seems to be the kind of vibe that they want to go for. But Jamie Overton coming in at seven is quite bowler heavy.
Yeah.
And then in the last ODI, they brought in Tom Banton and then had one less bowler. Um, and Tom Batten batted a three, but I imagine that's not the way they'll go in the actual game. But it just feels like they're either going to go batting too heavy or bowling too heavy, and neither seem to work.
Like they always seemed in the past to have around the 6 or 7 spot in the
Yeah,
order. A, I'd say primarily a bowler that is a decent bat.
yeah,
Going back to 2019, that was obviously Wokes. Stokes was just like an ever-present
yeah,
there, but like Sam Curran for a bit,
yeah,
it- like, but now it seems more like these are the batters, and very quickly they switch bowlers. Is
yeah.
that?
It's bowlers who can whack it a bit rather than can
Yeah,
bat a long time. Yeah,
and I wouldn't say it's not that the bowlers we have can't do a bit with the bat.
yeah,
It's just they're not. That's not their main job, and it's not as if
no.
we don't have bowlers that are more in the mold of an all-rounder, a bowling all-rounder.
Hmm.
But I,
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, you compare it to like the 2019, the classic team that you had like, yeah, it was still Butler at six, and then you had Mo, then you had, like you say, Wokes, people like Joff, still Rashid and that kind of thing. But I feel like, Mo and Wokes just feel like that together that I think on their own, they're probably not an out and out batting side. But when you've got one after the other, they kind of feel like they're a one extra batter themselves.
yeah,
But with this, it's sort of like you've just got it's very bits and pieces. Like Gus Atkinson got 38 in the last game, but that was him just slogging it when England were 175 for eight, chasing 356. Um, so it's just a bit rubbish.
yeah.
And I'll give you a stat attack, just very quickly, if I can find said stat. So England go into Champions Trophy having lost 10 of the 14 ODIs that they've played since the World Cup in 2023, which isn't very good.
I would say that's quite bad.
I'd say it's also quite bad. I'll give you another stat. Butler's winning percentage is worse than Alistair Cook's in ODIs.
That doesn't surprise me, but I think that's more because Cook had a better team.
Did he?
I,
Do you think?
I mean, my memory's not
So I guess,
great, but
but you got
it's
like
still
Butler,
like
for example.
Cook,
Yeah,
right? It's still
yeah.
Alistair Cook.
He's still all right. Yeah, that's very much like a classical test extension of a team. But obviously, they went into that. What was it, the 2015 World Cup, where it was that one? That's when they had the massive reset when that was an absolute shambles, and he obviously led England into that. But I guess you do. He had a kind of a solid team enough. But Butler inherited the 2019 vibey team, I guess. And I guess if you're looking at white
But
ball eras, I guess he's in that era where he should have better white ball players than Cook did.
sure, but did he not inherit that team after it was already going
Well,
downhill
I'd agree with
anyway?
that. I'm just playing annoying devil's advocate.
Yeah, like
I completely think that this team just completely had unraveled for a while and they were just papering over the cracks, but for
yeah,
sure.
and like it still feels like there's not a lot of fresh players in there. But
It's
because
really not.
like you can try and sort of argue the case for Duckett, but it still seems like he's been around there for ages. It's yeah, like I know it's basically only Root and Joss, but it feels like there's nothing really innovative going on there.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, these are Butler's overall stats from all of his captaincy. So he's captained 42 games. He's won 18 and lost 23. Um, so yeah, a win percentage of 43% there, which isn't too good. I don't think Butler should be captain. I don't know it really makes too much of a difference in this sense, but I just feel like you look at the way Root stepped back into that kind of non-captaincy player vibe and just kind of went up again. Um, and I just think if you were to give it like to a Harry Brook or someone else, then I think maybe you do see a difference in this side. Potentially, I just release the shackles from Butler because every time I just see him, I just feel like he hates it. That's the
Yeah.
vibe I get. Um, but I feel like if he steps down as captain, he'll just step down from ODIs and he'll just be T20s. I can't see him not being in this team as captain. But I just don't think he should be captain. That's just the vibe. But just for comparison for Morgan, Morgan was captain 126 games, won 76, so a win percentage of 60%, which is pretty good. Um, and there were happier times. Um,
Like the strange comparison with Root was when Root was captain, the team was doing bad, but Root was still
yeah,
the best player on the team.
yeah,
And then when Root uh, resigned as captain, he was
hmm
still the best player on the team and got better. Like there was a
yeah, I think so.
period where he got 50s, but never converted, but then
Yeah,
he started reverse scooping stuff and just had a
yeah.
bit of a laugh with
Just
it.
having fun, yeah. I think that's what McCullum just wants that kind of fun, I guess, in the white ball setup as well. And that what's Butler's been saying, being like, "Oh, I've been smiling a lot more than I used to." It's like, okay, just feels like he's trying to force this kind of carefree freedom attitude. But as always happens, the team has faced some scrutiny. You might remember from our last episode, the women's team faced massive scrutiny from Alex Hartley for the fitness stuff and not preparing well enough. Are you ready for the latest drama for the men's team this time?
Oh yeah, yeah. Is it
So this comes from Kevin Peterson. You may have heard of him.
rings a bell. Is he married to the lady from the
Yeah,
Clayton?
yeah, yeah. That's the one. Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Nice. So he put a post on X, Twitter, the other day, after England lost. I think it must have been the third ODI. So this is I'm reading this in I'm not going to do KP's voice or tone frames, but there's a lot of question marks and capitals, and it's just strangely worded, but it's fine. So here we go. I'm sorry, but I'm absolutely gobsmacked that England did not have one team practice session since losing the first ODI and losing the T20 series. How can this be? Seriously, how? I believe Joe Root was the only player to have a net this series post Nagpur. There isn't a single sportsman on this planet who can honestly say that they'd improve without practicing whilst they're getting beaten. There also cannot be one player in that England side who can sit on the plane leaving India and say to themselves they did everything they can to try and help England win. And for that, I'm absolutely incredibly sad this evening with a kind of like, face. Losing is fine if you're giving your best to improve every day. And if England didn't train during the series, then they didn't try. Heartbreaking for any England fan. Thoughts?
I mean, it's not often that Kevin Peterson talks sense, but it's hard to. disagree with any of that.
Yeah, yeah, it
Like,
is.
you're an elite level international sports team. You should do training. But
Yeah.
what are you doing instead?
I think it begins with G, but of golfy boys. McCullum came back. If you want to hear a response from Brendan,
I do.
this isn't the whole. There's a lot of quotes and stuff. He said he called it factually incorrect, all this kind of stuff. But I'm not really sure it is. So he said guys have come from a lot of cricket, and keeping guys fresh is just as important, especially when you have injuries. We've been doing lots of training. We have had injuries in the camp, so we've backed off guys a little bit to make sure we had a fit team. Hopefully in Pakistan we have a fully fit squad to pick from, and we look forward to a fresh challenge. Butler also disagreed, said they'd done plenty of training throughout this tour. Doesn't agree with the fact they've been called lazy or there's a lack of effort. He said we've had a reasonably long tour, a few travel days. There's been a couple of times we've not trained, but we've done plenty of training throughout the tour. We try to create a really good environment, but don't mistake that for a lazy environment or a lack of effort. Thoughts?
I'm more confused now.
Yeah.
Because now it's making me question, unbelievably, what Kevin Peterson said.
But I don't know because I feel like because in that they have said we have taken some days to not do anything. So I still do think I am more as I may be a fool for thinking this, but I am more still siding with KP. I feel like you could have had instances where you've had injuries and you're trying to back people off, and that has unfortunately coincided with when they've lost their games. They've not done any training since. Um, But I think KP had his sources confirmed as well by people like Ravi Shastri and other people around that kind of vibe and media stuff. So if it's only Joe Root who had one net after they've lost that first ODI, it does look not all the team is injured. And when England are losing badly and against spin, surely that's an environment where they can be learning. They can be facing net bowlers, bowling spin, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I would agree it's confusing, but
It's like, why would Peterson say something so, like, in one side to the extreme? They've done
yeah,
no training at all. It's only
yeah,
been one net session
yeah.
through. Like, there must be, I don't know, because there's a bit of a trust issue with what Peterson says.
True, yeah,
Is
true,
he just
always.
bullshitting a bit or
Yeah,
like exaggerating a bit?
yeah,
But for him to like go so hard in that one direction,
yeah.
there must be some substance behind it. Like he
Yeah,
might have misinterpreted how much thing they've
yeah.
actually done.
And
Maybe
how many
someone
people
said,
are injured and stuff, and how
yeah,
much is precautionary and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
like maybe someone has told him like we've barely done any training,
yeah,
like basically been nothing, and
yeah,
Peterson has misunderstood that, or
yeah. I would imagine it comes from a sense that Kevin is a big old golfer and stuff like that. I would imagine something stems along the fact that this could be completely wrong, but I would be surprised if it isn't. Um, that he's probably seen some of them on the golf course or whatever in between losing a game. That seems very much like a vibe of this team. It happens quite a lot during the test games, which I think, it's a fine precedent, I guess, if you want to set when you're winning to create that kind of relaxed environment. But I feel like you really want to see that response and hit back. And when someone like, Duckett as well comes back and says, doesn't matter if we lose 3-0, and then you're hearing they haven't done any training. And it's like it just all of it suddenly starts to feel a bit like the women's team again, like very much entitled that what we're doing is right. We're on this train. We're completely fine. You can't possibly question us. And it's kind of just makes them a bit like unlikable and like that kind of cocky and that arrogance and that stuff. It's like, but you're losing and you're losing badly. And it's I don't know. I feel like we had the same conversation last time,
yeah, I don't know.
but
Like, it's fine to go and do golf or
sure,
something else to have a bit of a mental reset. You can't just be doing
absolutely. No, of
cricket all
course.
the time. You need someone
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
switch off and relax. And if golf is that for England's cricket team, then
Good
you're
luck to them.
a bit weird. Golf is a bit shit, but like, go for it. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
When it comes at the detriment of like, your job
yeah.
and your professionalism and something you should be taking pride in
Hmm.
and something that is supposed to like give joy to people following the team. Like
Yeah.
this isn't just for you. You're meant to be providing a source of entertainment and
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the people that
Yeah.
like
It
I,
is it is that like it isn't entertaining. Like I did a jesty like a post on whatever day it was the third ODI when India posted 354. I was like, oh, it's a great deck to bat on. I can't wait to watch England get 197 all out. And now 214 all out. I was annoyed because they were 184 for eight, and I was like, I'm going to be correct. But like, but it's just annoying how like it's so predictable. There's just like there was nothing in there and be like they're not going to get anywhere close because I just feel like this team is just completely so far and away what they were before, and I don't know. I mean, I'm going a bit more of a tangent of annoyance, but I just don't see anything changing in this team at all. And I don't know.
yeah, it's weird. You said earlier about how like getting the rid of the captaincy from Joss might help him, and like Baz is trying to feed this culture of enjoyment within the white ball
Yeah,
side. But I don't know if that's like counterproductive for white ball, which is
maybe.
as a
Yeah.
format already meant to be a bit more vibey and a bit more
Hmm.
expansive and expressive. Whereas like tests, you can kind of get a bit bogged
Yeah.
down in the length, the thought process that you might have to stick it out. So when someone
Hmm.
comes in and goes, no, let's enjoy it, like fucking
Yeah. Uh-huh.
be expressive and inventive. When you
Yeah.
go in and try and do that, like ODIs and T20s, in which you're already meant to be expressive
Yeah.
and inventive, and meant to be a bit more of a, it's the
Yeah.
carnival format versus
It
the
is. Yeah.
like the portrait painting. I don't know what like equivalent
Yeah.
of spin for that metaphor, but
No, I agree. I agree. I also just think there needs to be a detachment from Test cricket 50 over and T20.
mhm,
I don't think the England T20 team should necessarily then be the England ODI team. And like there's going to be crossover across all formats, but Phil Salt shouldn't be in the ODI team. That's just my like you can be in the T20, sure. If you want to get someone who gets to like 40 off 10 balls in a T20, great. But he's not offering that in ODIs. Great, they've had three good starts in the first three ODIs, but as soon as spins come on, it's like, well, that's it.
mhm.
Like the pace is on the ball, it's flat. You can suddenly hit someone over cover for six. It looks good, but it's not going to last. So I think you need to be looking at, players who can bat longer. Um, so I mean, I would have Tom Banton open the batting. I mean, I'm glad he's in the squad, but he plays a lot of like red ball cricket for Somerset. He was, I think, one of their leading run scorers last year. He's got more experience of batting more red ball, batting longer periods of time. Get him open the batting. Duckett obviously does some tests. You got Root, then Brooks, or someone like Sam Hain. Um, I just feel like you just need that better balance or better mentality of like we need to bat these overs to bat through the innings and not like be all out in the 30. But I don't know, maybe there's not an easy fix.
I know it's just kind of a shame for like players like Banton, like Billings as well, like
Hmm.
who've always performed well at county and have kind of been in around the
Yeah,
England setup, but have never really gotten a, a long spell in the side to really prove themselves.
yeah, yeah. And
It
I think,
feels
yeah, I
like
think,
Banton's been around. He's in a bit of form.
yeah,
We just put him into the squad and do
it's just
nothing with
there.
him, basically. I don't,
Exactly. Yeah,
he might be in
yeah,
the squad, but I don't trust England to actually play him. I don't
yeah,
trust them
yeah,
to drop an out of form player for what will probably be more of an unknown. Which it
yeah,
shouldn't be because it's Tom
yeah,
Banton. It should be,
yeah.
we know how
And
good
yeah,
he is.
and he's been good. And I know I've just been talking about Red Bull cricket, but he's been playing a lot of franchise cricket over the winter, and he's been leading run scorers and getting loads of hundreds and that kind of stuff. And he's in form, and like he only got like 38 the other day, but like it looked so much better than anything some of the other batters have done all tour. You can like see, oh, he's in form. He knows how to play spin. He's playing, switch hits for six and that kind of stuff, and he was like looking, really solid. So I think, especially, you also got to look at the fact that you had him. He played a lot in 2020, um, and he when he had that kind of breakthrough year, and then got dropped. And I think he said that he really just hated cricket after that. So I think the fact he's been able to come back from that kind of shows his character and stuff like that. I think I mean, I think it should be Banton and Duckett, but like you said, I'm not going to go for that. Um, but I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Is there anyone in the England squads that you think could come into the white ball side? You would like to see in the white ball side? Any kind of recalls? Anything?
Uh,
Anyone who's not had a go? You're well versed in your cricket knowledge.
I just want to see younger players involved. I don't particularly mind about the result as a fan,
Yeah. Hmm.
especially if they're going for younger players and a younger core,
Yeah.
because you're going to expect a consistency from that, and it's probably not going to be much worse, if at all worse, than what it already is, which is
I agree. Yeah.
consistent and shite, but with
Yeah.
veteran, seasoned players just not showing up and
Yeah.
not seeming like they're improving or adapting or working on their weaknesses. It's just tiring.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I'd go do whatever you want with the Champions Trophy. No one really cares, but anyway. But then there's going to be building for the next T20 World Cup, which I think is next year, because of course it is.
mm.
Um,
So yeah, Amar Birdie. That's
I think he's clubless at the moment.
we'll always have that one cricket championship season,
Yeah,
Amar.
it will never be forgotten. Um, okay, cool. I mean, that's my rant and raving about England over and done with, I think, to be honest. So I guess we can preview the Champions Trophy,
Yeah, fun.
I guess. Um,
I actually looked at recent fixtures of all the teams just to see what the form
okay, nice.
going into it was. So and weirdly, I found that no one is really playing much ODI to prepare for this.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah,
Why would you prepare?
exactly. Like uh Pakistan,
Yeah.
they've won four out of their last six ODIs.
Hmm.
They've I think just been in like a tri-series mini
Yeah, I
tournament.
love it. I love a tri-series.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that's great. Yeah.
that was really interesting. But
Yeah.
the games they played before that were in December, so
Hmm.
it's just we'll try and get a few games in quick before we have to
Yeah.
play. Afghanistan, even weirder schedule. Their last ODI games were in December. They were against Zimbabwe, and the other series they've had was against Bangladesh
Yeah.
in November. They won four, lost one, but like, you, can you really judge much from that? They've
Yeah.
been playing teams around their quality, but not challenging themselves
Yeah. No.
in the against quality that will actually be playing in the tournament.
Yeah.
Australia have won one and lost four in their last five,
Yeah.
but they've
They had it.
also
Eagle.
only played five since November.
I will say about because all our listeners know how much I'm a big Australia fan.
Mhm.
They did have a horrendous defeat yesterday. I don't know if that's included in your
It should be, yeah.
um, yeah. So they lost to
It's
Sri Lanka. I don't have the specific.
by 174 runs.
Yeah, they were 107 all out. I think they lost seven for about 22 or something. Um, so that bodes well.
Yeah, you have to go back to September, the England series for the last
Yeah.
time they won, and it's like you beat England, well done.
Yeah.
Like do something of actual substance. It's
Yeah.
not hard to do.
No, not really.
Um, Bangladesh won one, lost five.
Yeah.
Uh, they lost whitewashed against West Indies, who aren't even in the tournament. And that was in December, so they've not had an ODI game for 2 months.
Of course.
Like just going in
Yeah.
completely fresh. You know,
Yeah.
so, England, one win, five losses. Uh, yep, I don't
Shambles.
really. I have like every so often I've got notes against the ratios, and mine for England is just lol.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
India have won three, lost two, drawn or tied one.
Yeah.
Uh, like the recent series against England, but then their last series was in August against
Yeah,
Sri Lanka.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Like
just
I'm seeing
how
a
much of it's yeah.
pattern, and it's no one cares about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah. New Zealand five wins, one loss, the tri-series thing, and
They
then
won the Tri-Series, didn't they?
Yeah, they won the Tri
Yeah,
Series, and they
in
had a
Pakistan, obviously. Yeah,
series. I think it was against Sri Lanka in January.
yeah,
So if anyone's prepared, it's New Zealand.
yeah.
And
Because I
then
feel like they actually take they're actually quite professional the way they actually look at things.
yeah, they professional is it. They're like we're gonna do this
Yeah,
properly. We're gonna.
yeah.
It's like of course they would be. Like this is a really good opportunity for New Zealand.
Oh, 100%.
They've got one of the better squads.
Uh-huh.
Like if they
Yeah,
put the effort in prior to the tournament versus like India, who's played an ODI series just and then not since August, and
yeah,
even the recent one was against some awful like county level chumps. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
this is a great opportunity for New Zealand. So,
It is. Yeah.
and then South Africa, which the worst form of anyone, 0 wins, 5 defeats, but like in one of
Did they
those,
not win a single game of the Tri Series?
no, because what I think it was like basically two semi-finals into a final.
Okay, fair,
And
fair.
like
I love a Tri
Pakistan,
Series,
New
to be fair.
Zealand play each other, then Pakistan, South Africa play each
Yeah,
other. I don't know.
yeah.
I
I mean,
can't.
I love the idea of a Tri Series. I don't
Yeah,
know why there's not like a Tri Series in like England of like England, Ireland, Scotland. I don't understand
yeah,
why they just don't do that. But
like a home nation. Yeah, that was
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah. So like looking a bit more closer at some of the results, like the game they had against New Zealand, both teams scored over 300.
yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the opener for South Africa, but he
Hmm.
scored 150 this game,
Yeah, nice.
which is a bit different to like England's doing.
Yeah, so getting
Like,
26 or 21.
yeah, like it's fine if you lose like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You've actually put some effort in,
yeah,
done the hard graft stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think South Africa would have a good squad. I mean, is that all the squads? That's all the teams, isn't it?
yeah. There's only 8 teams in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Champions Trophy, let's just forget.
Yeah, like not
But
even the top 8 ranked sides
no,
in the ICC ranking are in these 8 teams. Like, there's no
yeah,
West Indies, there's no Sri Lanka.
no, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I should probably know. We should probably know this, but I guess there's some qualification stuff. But who knows? I think it's just who's got most money. Um, but there's some. Here's the other. This is all I've got for a preview of Champions Trophy because I don't know what else people want me to say. There's a lot of people injured. Um, so it shows you how much people are really hyped for it. So Afghanistan are missing just the one player, Ghazenfar. Australia, though, have probably been hit the worst. So they have no Pat Cummins and no Josh Hazlewood. Mitchell Stark has withdrawn from the tournament for personal reasons. Marsh has a back injury, unlikely to play again this season. And Marcus Stoinis retired from ODIs on February 6th after being named in the provisional squad. So he just really just didn't want to be there.
Just can't be bothered with it.
Yeah, exactly. England obviously lost Jacob Bethel. India are going to be without Jasprit Bumrah. New Zealand won't have Lockie Ferguson, and potentially Rachin Ravindra. And Ben Sears has also been ruled out with a hamstring. Pakistan are just waiting on the fitness of Harris Ralph. And South Africa will be without Norkia. But they were going to replace him with I forget how to pronounce, but I can't see who played in the 2023 World Cup, but then he got a groin injury. So um, it's all going well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of big names in there as well, um, which is a bit of a shame for I guess the ICC's glittering tournament. Um, like Australia are without their first choice bowling attack. That's Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark all not there. And it all bodes well when they were lost massively yesterday. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here because I've always been wrong before,
Mhm.
but I can see Australia winning this.
I'm
That's my
going
reverse psychology.
I'm going to stick with the form guide. I'm going to say New Zealand are going to win it.
I like New Zealand to win it. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Australia gonna win.
Yeah.
um, no, I mean I'd say I think it's hard place not to say India. But I'd like to see New Zealand. I'd like to see South Africa. But I can't see Australia or England winning, given England's lack of form and Australia's lack of squad. Um,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah. I was surprised by South Africa's no wins in the last. like
It's
5 years.
surprising, yeah. I feel like they'll still do all right because they've still
Yeah,
got like yeah, they've got a great like backbone of the squad.
the
They're
squad is
coming off, yeah,
yeah, they've had like the last 2 or 3 tournaments, they've done really well.
yeah,
Not quite got all the way, but they've always, at least like during the group slash league
yeah.
phase, they've been right at it.
Yeah, I just thought they'd be there or thereabouts. But I mean, this is kind of the nice, good thing about the Champions Trophy is that it's like there's no, you'd say there's no easy games.
Mhm.
Like every game should be a big event, and I guess that's the kind of the appeal of the Champions Trophy. I just don't really get it. Like, it's just a weird concept just to have when everyone plays so much cricket anyway, and then we're just squeezing in this extra ICC tournament. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll be following it. It kicks off on Wednesday with Pakistan and New Zealand because they've not played each other enough already, but sure. Bangladesh, India is the second game on Thursday. Afghanistan, South Africa on Friday, but then next Saturday will be Australia and England in Lahore. Um, so get excited. And then it's not the final is on the 9th of March, so it's done in like a couple of weeks.
It's great funny.
So that's great. Have you got anything else to say on the Champions Trophy?
Nah.
Yeah. Great. I think we'll name this one Champions Trophy Preview. Get hyped. Right. I mean, I think no other cricket news. There's definitely other cricket happening in the world. Um, but are we going to talk about it? Probably not. So we're going to go into just not crick.
We are. We have 99 problems, but the hydrant is not one of them.
Yeah.
Um, so I've just been finished playing the game Stellar Blade, which is from a Korean gaming company. Uh,
Fun.
and for some reason, I
Hmm.
was like, during the game, like they got the double jump at one point. It's like, I wonder what the best like video game ability would be to have like in real life.
Okay.
So it's less of a me saying stuff and more of a prompt discuss.
For me to discuss. Oh, but I guess, are we talking about every single game ever?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
or
yeah.
is it a specific kind of game?
Nah, whatever you want.
Oh,
The
gosh.
the field is open or whatever.
Um, I guess something like what will be best in everyday life? Something like, well, I guess respawn.
Yeah, that would be decent. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's okay. I'll try that bit again.
yeah. No, like
Um,
I was thinking like item scan or
item scan. Yeah,
but like Batman's detective mode in Arkham.
yeah.
Like
Reload from checkpoint.
yeah, but it would be a bit more mundane. Like uh,
Yeah,
I need to turn on detective mode or item scan to find my keys or whatever. It's not like stuff like trying to
yeah,
piece a murder together or track down a
yeah.
burglar. You're just like, fuck, where are my shoes? Right.
Yeah, I can see that. What else can you do? I feel like, yeah, like you said, like items, just you can carry however much you want. You just have it ready all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Inventory.
Yeah, inventory stuff, fast travel.
Well, no, yeah, fast travel's a good one. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's like an ability
I'd say it's
or
in games. So I guess yeah,
but it, like there could be some characters in video games that have an ability of like just teleport, which is fast travel.
call a horse, call a Batmobile.
Yeah. So like, is that an ability or is that a game mechanic?
I guess with Batman, it's a
And I
character
think
ability.
on that sense, is respawn a game mechanic?
Yeah, because does the character die? Does Mario die every time he falls off? Is that
Speaking of Mario,
okay?
mushrooms. Imagine just every time you eat a mushroom, you just get a little bit bigger.
Or what's the
And
one where you
then
like
the
spit
second
fire? Is that a
one, yeah.
flower? Yeah,
Um, yeah, maybe. I
can't
don't
remember
remember.
one.
Like
Yeah,
the Mario star would be fun as well. Just
yeah.
fall right through everything. Shutting doors.
Oh gosh, yeah, that'd be good. I
Yeah,
mean, double jump is a bit. That's right at the bottom of the tier, isn't it? That's just like,
I think so. Like it'd
yeah,
be cool, but redundant.
yeah,
You
like,
just have like an extra Olympic
yeah,
event, wouldn't you? Like
yeah,
here's the long jump, high jump, and double
double jump.
jump.
Yeah.
But like,
Uh,
yeah, fun.
Gosh, I'm just trying to think of other games that I've played that just don't just fall into the same mechanic, you know?
Um, Deadeye from Red Dead Redemption
Yeah,
probably be useful for cricket, but
that'd be yeah, yeah, nice.
I
Oh
would
gosh.
probably not advise using it for the same reasons.
Probably for the same reasons as yeah, would not advocate the use of Deadeye for
Yeah,
similar acts in
yeah.
on day. Yeah, sure.
Unless your say your country is being attacked by a different country
Yeah,
for indiscriminate reasons, then
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's trying to find the line between game mechanic and skill.
Mhm.
Like
Because there are
Assassin's
definitely games like Sekiro where like resurrecting is a part of the game,
character.
like the
Yeah,
character's ability to do that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like you look at Shadow of War, I guess that would be one.
What? Be able
What
to,
it's called? You die, don't you? And then you come back and it affects the story. You don't die, you die.
yeah. But like
Yeah,
by extension, you're also like making enemies from doing that.
I guess. Yeah. You have a Wraith friend.
Yeah. I mean, an actual Celebrimble would be fun. That'd be
Yeah, that'd be cute.
like every time you are killed by an orc, then like
Yeah.
not that there are orcs in real life,
No, exactly.
and not that I think there are many people out to get us, but
No,
like it
maybe
would be
not.
a bit more of an interesting interaction.
Yeah,
But I don't think that would be
yeah.
necessarily beneficial.
Yeah, what's good? I'm quite like because I've gone off them, but I used to love them back in the day. Like Assassin's Creed games, you'd have like eagle vision where
Mhm.
you could go into the eye of an eagle. You could like look around everywhere, which is fun.
Kind of like a
Um,
bird's eye view. Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be good.
which is fun. It's just fun. It's not really beneficial, like, but it'd be cool.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm not sure again because I think all the games just kind of fall into similar things now. So it's like I think like a double jump felt like such a like an old classic vibe. Um,
I think if it was just you that got the power, then being
yeah,
able to double jump would be a bit more
yeah,
interesting because you're like you're the guy
yeah.
that can double jump.
Dun, dun. That's double jump, man.
Yeah,
Double jump boy.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'll go away and have a look at what does the game do.
yeah.
Because what this again, maybe our gaming section. So you've just finished that game.
I have.
Are you playing any other games?
I'm in that phase of looking at games and like PlayStation State of Play just happened. So I've had a
Yeah.
bit of a wish list
Yeah.
go on.
That's fine.
Like I'm debating at the moment of between Black Myth Wukong and
Hmm.
Ender Magnolia.
No, I've not heard of either.
Okay.
But I'm sure they're good.
Yeah, well, Black Myth Wukong you can probably surmise is based on Journey to the West with, about
Yeah,
Sun Wukong, and
that's
that
fine.
Ender Magnolia is a bit more of a side scroller, but like Souls-like as
Okay.
well. It's a sequel to another game. It's been compared to Hollow Knight, if you
Yeah, yeah, I know. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah, there it is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Um, yeah. So not like unless you count Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah. I've not. Yeah, all I've played at the moment really is Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
Um, which I think has been pretty good.
How was Hellblade 2?
I mean, too good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, what I've quite liked about both of them is that they're not massively gamey. This
Mhm.
just feels like I'm just playing a story, and like if I have to do stuff in the middle, I'm doing it. But then, like the Indiana Jones cutscenes are quite long, and it feels like you're watching a bit of a film. And Hellblade, as you know, is very cinematic in the way it is presented and stuff. Anyway, so like,
Yeah, like when I got to play it at York, I
yeah,
very much got the impression that it had gone more towards being a cinematic
yeah,
experience because there was just less gameplay.
yeah. It was just like you're watching this whole scene go on. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But I enjoy both. Yeah, I don't know what else. I've seen as like, is it Kingdom Come Deliverance? Is that's a game? I
that
feel like
that is a game I'm not familiar.
I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Mhm.
For like a medieval RPG-ness. But yeah, I've not. played much else other than cricket captain and
Oh, Slay the Princess is quite
the
good.
princess.
Yeah, Slay the Princess. Um, Basically, you awake in a forest, and
Yeah.
a narrator is telling you you're in a forest and you're on your way to kill the princess. And
Okay,
it's like a visual novel.
that's
And
fun.
yeah, and I think
Okay,
like giving any more away would kind of defeat the purpose of it.
okay,
Just
cool. I mean, I just had to look for it. So what's it called? Just called the princess.
slay the princess.
Play the princess.
Slay.
Slay.
Yeah,
I thought play the princess, and you got all those like little kind of kid games, being like you can dress up as the princess, and like maybe I'll put slay.
yeah,
That's a lot different.
hmm
Nice.
yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, cool. That
yeah.
looks fun.
It's a lot more like interactive horror,
Okay, cool. I
but
do
not
like
like
one of those.
not like scary horror though. It's more like
Yeah, that makes
in
sense.
your head.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'll give that a go.
Yeah,
Um, it's not really a game tangent. This feels like this feels like a podcast should be. We're just having a general chat. Um,
that's the knock part of the podcast.
isn't it?
This is
I mean,
what I want it to be.
anyone who listened to our last episode would have enjoyed the new segment I had is what's more disappointing with the Women's Ashes Manchester United season or the season finale of Merlin.
Mhm.
Um, in which you said that, it's obviously Manchester United. But from that conversation, I said that I'd go back and rewatch both Merlin and Robin Hood and see how they stood up. And I did. I am a man of my word.
How was it? Did they
I
stand up
had
or did they sit down?
I uh so I wouldn't say they're all bad. I'd say there's lots of elements of them that do still stand up and are still really good. I think the intro to Arthur in Merlin is really good. But I think that's a lot of foresight in the sense that I know what happens and how this character develops. So it's quite nice seeing them again in this previous bit. Just starts so kind of weirdly and clunky and just so to the point, and there's no kind of build up for Merlin's character and Gaius and all this kind of stuff. He's just there. But then there's stuff it does is quite well. It's quite dark, which I think is quite cool for a kids show, and like it was put on like 7 o'clock. Um, Most of the acting is pretty good. I think the Arthur and Merlin stuff is the stuff that I'm most looking forward to seeing more of if I want to carry on watching it, which I might.
Yeah.
The CGI is a bit ropey, as I thought I'd expect, but I think if I can just look past that, it's fine. Um, I think Robin Hood stands up more
I think because partly because there's less reliance on
CGI and
like
that magic
CGI
stuff.
and yeah,
Yeah, I
because
think
it's
what
more
what
grounded in reality, isn't it?
yeah, it's a lot more grounded. There's a lot of like jokes and stuff and things that are like modern references and wordings that just feel like that's silly and clunky. Um, but you got a lot more kind of heart and emotion from it, and I don't know. I mean, it might be my slight bias for Robin Hood, but it's very different. It's a very different Robin Hood for how Robin Hood finished. I think the aesthetic is so much more different. Like you say, it's a lot more grounded in reality and stuff like that. I think the acting's really good. It's fun seeing a young Richard Armitage, all that kind of stuff. I think Keith Allen is great. I think the ending, there's the whole hanging scene. If you just take away this weird, like slow cuts and these weird, like strange edits, is really good. When he chooses to become the outlaw instead. So yeah, I think Robin Hood stands up more, but I enjoy, but Robin Hood stands up more and it's more dramatic, but maybe Merlin's more fun.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
Like if you were to continue, you'd probably do it with Merlin.
yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah,
It, they both have
I-
that awkward thing of if you were going to stay with them and rewatch, they both
yeah,
end kind of flag.
yeah. It's tricky though, isn't it? Because I had a good time. I was like, I don't want to get burned, but I'm like, I know that there must have been good stuff in Merlin for me to be so angry of how it ended. Yeah.
I mean, maybe you watch it again and you find out whether it was worth getting so angry
True.
over.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I will. Maybe that's my big old task because I watched. It was funny because I watched Merlin episode one whilst I was watching House of Dragon season two.
Yeah.
So I guess the differences between dragons are interesting
Oh,
in how it's come along. Um, But that was fun. But yeah,
Yeah,
I will carry on and
good.
maybe watch next episode.
You should complete the series by the next pod, and then I
Uh,
don't have to think of a not correct.
what the silly thing is though, I just feel so weird because I've been watching it on my commute, and I'm like I'm the only person on this train watching Merlin and Robin Hood from like 2008, 2010. No one else is doing this.
Like there are gonna be people on that train that just don't even know that it exists.
Like, what is that? What's this like fan like animation you're watching? But I've had a good time, and that's all we can say really.
Yeah,
That's what Brendan McCullum would say. Just enjoy it. Doesn't matter if it's any good.
yeah, it's fucking ODI boys. Just get on with it.
Oh God, but there we go. Brought it back round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's unless you've got any more not crick, I think that might be us for this time.
I don't because brain fuzz.
Yes, brain fuzz, brain good. We've had quite a lot of nice interaction with on our social medias this time. Like a lot of people like I asked people what their ODI team would be moving forward, and that was quite fun. Got some quite nice responses there. So thanks for all the engagement, fans. Where can people find us if they want that kind of engagement, Jamie?
I sorry, I blanked for a sec and
Where can
got
people find us?
I caught the end. I just wasn't ready to go immediately into it. Um,
Go, go, go.
just not Crick Pod,
Yeah,
Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube, podcast places.
all podcast places.
I nearly said the other
The
thing.
other place.
Yeah, that we're
Yeah,
not saying
we're
anymore.
not there anymore. Well,
But
we are there, but we're
yeah,
transitioning.
it's just like one of those things where like you've done something for so long, it becomes
Yeah,
addictive.
it comes
But
inherently there.
yeah, you're like, whoop,
Maybe we'll be back there one day, but who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, nice. Cool. Well, we'll see you next time. Next time we may have a special guest. We promised that last time, but maybe that will actually happen next time. We'll see. But we'll be back. Maybe we'll record something in person next week. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
For the first Champions Trophy game. But we'll see.
I mean, if you're
Um,
here and on Wednesday, then
yeah,
no,
no, we'll see.
no, I don't want that.
We'll see. But oh well. But yeah, if you want to follow us, listen to us, all that kind of stuff. Thanks. We'll see you for the Champions Trophy. Yes.
I don't have anything funny to like do a send off
Just
for.
just end. Just
Yeah,
end the Champions Trophy.
yeah.
End it.